Cabello pointed out that not only the U.S. aid financed the Venezuelan extremist opposition, but it also had funding from the Treasury Department in Washington. He also assured that in the presidential election of July 28th, the government of the United States financed the political parties of the extreme right for their destabilization campaigns against the country. In the sense, the political leader ratified his denunciations to the extreme right for receiving financing from the U.S. aid to attempt against the peace of the country.
Vale oro. Con esta portada.
This is worth gold with this cover. This is worth gold. Here is the source of financing, who they gave money to, and it is not the United States Agency for International Development. This hurts more to the American citizens because it is the Treasury Department. The proofs are at your disposal. I am going to read some of them. Here you have them. More than $1,800 million delivered.
Continue in Venezuela as political parties are preparing for the parliamentary and state elections to be held on April 27th. This is the case of the United Socialist Party of Venezuela, which together with its leadership, militants and supporters will define its candidates from the grassroots. Leonardo Urrieta tells us more.
The United Socialist Party of Venezuela installed its Congress to define the strategy with which the bases will elect their candidates for the elections, in conjunction with the people, the communes, and the social movements.
All this is the people. It is participatory democracy, and the expectations are to build solidity, true democracy, not the democracy of the elites. The decisions that will surely strengthen the revolution will strengthen the Venezuelan state.
The PSUV is the largest party in the country and is committed, once again, to upholding principles such as gender equality and promoting a central role for the new generations.
Venezuela has a woman's name, and therefore women must occupy the spaces they deserve because the work, the commitment, the loyalty that we put into all the projects we are entrusted with allows us to emerge victorious.
The protagonist participation of our people, and there the youth is a co-participant of this beautiful dream, of this world that we are about to build.
President Maduro, as the main leader of the PUSV, explained the importance of the participation of young people in politics and the general objectives with which they will work in this new electoral campaign.
No one knows more than anyone else. We are all equal in the brotherhood of a dream of building a beautiful Venezuela, a free Venezuela.
For militants and leaders of the PSUV, the participation of the democratic opposition sectors in this process is a sign of the soundness of the institutions.
There are two types of opposition. There is the loyal opposition and the opposition disloyal to democracy. Here in Venezuela, they are very marked. We have an opposition that has been constituted loyal to the rules of the game that are in our constitution, and we have an opposition that has tried to access power outside the rules of democracy.
Opposition parties that have disassociated themselves from the actions of the extreme right reiterated that they will comply with all the processes for their participation in the next elections.
When the fourth phase of the 93 that have been published by the electoral power is in progress, today we can say that formally and officially, our political organization is participating in each one of the phases that are included in this electoral chronogram.
277 deputies to the National Assembly will be elected in these elections, in addition to 24 governors. Citizens over 18 years old are called to vote.
En la Cámara de Marcos da Silva, Leonardo Urrieta, TeleSUR, Caracas, Venezuela.
In Argentina, the far-right government of Javier Milei announced the modification of the gender identity law 3 days after the people protagonized a massive federal march for diversity and against fascism. Precisely, the spokesperson of the presidential office, Manuel Adorni, informed that the government will ban hormone treatment and adaptation for minors younger than 18 years old. As the law currently stands, it is the minor's parents who might make such decision. Adorni did not clarify if this modification will be enforced via decree or with the new law through the Congress. And we go now to Ecuador, as the government has ordered the reinforcement of police control in the run-up to Sunday's presidential elections in this fight against drug trafficking. On Monday, President Daniel Noboa ordered the militarization of the country's ports, with Navy personnel patrolling the access channel to the Gulf of Guayaquil. According to the head of state, the objective is to guarantee national security in the event of any destabilizing event and to prevent the trafficking of arms and drugs during the election process. Noboa also ordered to increase military presence on the borders with Colombia and Peru and to close the border passages between next Saturday and Monday. It is important to note that this is the first time that borders will be closed during elections. We continue in Ecuador, as the president of the National Electoral Council, Diana Atamain, confirmed the complaints against candidates to the Assembly for the National Democratic Action Movement. According to Atamain, there is a complaint for electoral infringement for use of public funds against candidate Yadira Vallas and another candidate of the movement, National Democratic Action, for a similar act. Atamain also referred to the campaign of candidate Daniel Noboa amid accusations against the National Electoral Council for not pronouncing on alleged violations, adding that if the infraction were proven, it would even be a criminal case. More than 13.7 million Ecuadorians will go to the polls in a context marked by power struggles and a polarized scenario. The first vice president of the United Socialist Party of Venezuela, Diosdado Cabello, informed that the opposition received more than $1.8 billion from the United States Treasury Department alone. During his TV show,